What I'm about to tell you is government classified. Los Angeles has an epidemic on its hands, the likes of which I've never seen before.
Well, then I'm gonna need my badge.
Marijuana! It's got a foothold on this city, and all signs point to this man.
I guess I've got some work to do.
Not so fast. I'm giving you a partner.
Baby, if I give it to you, I'ma take it back. And if I show you I love you.
I graduated top of my class in the academy. I speak 7 languages. I eat, sleep, breathe, live criminal justice.
Well, you better find a place to hide when the fighting starts. Because I'm not gonna be worried about my partner.
It's not me you should be worried about. Put this in your pipe and smoke it.
The drug runners found a latent code in the chemical compound for pot.
Kevin, their THC levels are way too high. If you fire that gun, there is a chance that you will set off a chain reaction, killing us all.
How's it getting into the city?
The Jamaican bobsled team.
You have to prove you ain't a cop by eating this here brownie.
She's a junkie!
I can help her!
She's still a junkie!
No! What have you done?
Pot's a gateway drug. I split the pot atom on a subatomic level and opened up a wormhole, a gateway to another dimension.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Who wants to die first?
Because I won't.
Who ready for a bong hit?
I hate you.
I know.
.420. It's a worldwide code that means marijuana, and April 20th is a day dedicated to everything reefer-related. Last year, AOTS took you to Amsterdam on 420, exploring the European take on weed. But this year, Attack travels to Jamaica, an island paradise in the Caribbean, to reveal the country's cannabis connection. We bring you behind the scenes, exploring everything from grassroots growing facilities to the Rastafarian religion. Plus, we crisscross the globe to reveal the latest innovations in THC technology. If it deals with 420, we have the 411, and it starts right now with Attack of the Show's Jamaican 420 special.
Attack of the Show, attack. Hey everybody, welcome to Attack of the Show's Jamaican 420. We are coming to you from the island of Jamaica with 2 hours of a very special show. It's all about 420. Hey everybody, I am Olivia Munn, and with me is a host with the most.
Oh, thank you. The most weed in this pot. Yeah. Can you believe we're getting paid to be here right now?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We land here and they say, Olivia, put on a bikini. It's for the show.
And I say, thank you, G4, as well as the viewers. But we're going to learn a lot today. In addition to that, I'm Kevin Pereira, and for the next 2 hours, we are bringing you nothing but reefer, pot, ganja, and sweet Lady Mary Jane. We're going to show you how they grow it, how they smoke it, and everything in between. And we're also going to get you up to speed on the history and the science behind the world's best-selling crop.
That's right. We're here to tell you everything you ever want to know about weed. Plus, we've got this entire island covered. Kevin is going into a secret Jamaican pot farm. We've got the actual guys who started 420, and Zach's got the rest of the pot-friendly world covered. Plus, we go behind the scenes of the Appleton Estate. That's where they make the best rum in all of the Caribbean.
Want to play some rum pong?
I'm not playing with you. You're an alcoholic, and you will drink me under the table.
It's called being a professional. Thank you. I resent that.
And you guys, we give you the straight dope on medical marijuana, which, just so you know, is different than illegal marijuana.
Have to smoke it with a stethoscope, or else it's not medical.
No, and a lab coat.
And a lab coat, yes. Don't forget.
Kevin, I don't know if you know this, but they told me today that I'm going to be jumping off a cliff. And not just any cliff, it's 5 feet from fatal.
Did you sign a waiver or anything?
No, but I asked them to send any money to my mother that might be sitting around.
Okay, so if we make it to like the homepage of Break, we'll send them like $60 or something.
Yeah, and you can have my car.
Thank you very much.
Know.
It's leased, right?
It is. And
Thanks
we'll
for the
auction
burden.
off all my clothes.
I appreciate that.
There you go. Make some money.
Guys, we're bringing you everything you need to know about 420, weed, and Jamaica, and it's all coming to you right from the heart of the Caribbean. So let's get this thing started with a little history lesson from our resident weed expert, Zach Sullivan.
Now, to make up for all the brain cells that we've lost on 420, we're bringing you, the viewer, the history of pot. While many people believe that pot use spontaneously combusted during the free-loving 60s, in fact, cannabis has been man's constant companion, and we can trace the use of cannabis back to the earliest civilizations.
It was grown deliberately as far back as 12,000 BC for its fiber qualities, for its seed qualities.
Well, we know from certain records the Hebrews and the Assyrians, the Sumerians, the Egyptians, and the Indians, they had both holy incense, and they had anointing oil, which means they put it into olive oil and they smeared it all over them and they threw it on the incense altar.
We know it was smoked. We know it was used as medicine in China 5,000 years ago.
They were getting high with hot box devices, and they were getting high through the skin.
By the 17th century, cannabis had reached the New World, and with the help of our forefathers, North America became a hotbed for hemp.
George Washington is the largest landowner in America at the time of the Declaration of Independence, and every year he has thousands of acres of cannabis sativa growing on his plantations, and up to 12 different varieties, including 2 smokable varieties.
Everyone grew it. It was one of the first crops, and it was basically illegal not to use hemp and not to grow it.
They needed lots of hemp to make sailcloths. The ropes on the ships were all made from hemp. So there was a great need for domestically produced American hemp in the colonial period.
Hemp, the all-American plant. So how did this U.S. cash crop go from being everywhere to being outlawed? Stick around, because later on, we're going to let you know.
See, this is an educational program. I can't stress it enough. Really, it's not like you're going to tune in and just see some pudgy, sunburnt tourist taking bong rips. No! You're going to learn something.
Like what?
Like if you put ice cubes into that bong, the hit will be a lot less harsh.
But will it still be strong and potent?
Yes, you just won't cough because the smoke is actually cooler on the lungs.
Oh.
And you'll be a winner. And your parents will be proud. No, they won't.
Good to know. You guys, throughout the day, we're bringing you our favorite weed-themed videos. You know, something we like to call Around the Net 420 edition. First up, back in the day, Americans got most of their weed from Jamaica. However, it wasn't so easy to bring that weed back into the U.S.
Right, and that's why a couple crafty Jamaicans used the country's other main export, which was music, to actually bring the weed in.
The customs men at Montreal's Mirabel Airport were a little curious about a crate of long-playing albums imported from Jamaica. The covers were genuine, but the record haul was a different kind of gold, 350 pounds of high-quality Jamaican marijuana. RCMP agents traced the dope to a Montreal record store and ripped the boxes open. There were more than 1,200 of these golden discs pressed into a flat pizza shape and hidden in regular album jackets for rock, classical, and country music.
Oh yeah, great. First digital music kills the small record stores, and now it kills the weed-smuggling records themselves. Shame on you, iTunes!
There is no end. You guys, Jamaica is one of the 420 capitals of the world, but it's also an amazing island. We are going to take you on a tour of the entire island in less time than it takes you to get to the airport. That's quick.
An island nation in the Caribbean, Jamaica is just 90 miles south of Cuba, and the former British colony has a population of 2.5 million people.
On the south side of the island is Kingston, the capital city and center of industry, and it's home to the famous Red Stripe Brewery and the Bob Marley Museum.
On the northwest side of the island is Negril, home to cool clubs and beautiful beaches, and that's where we'll be putting in a lot of time during this special.
And while we came to Jamaica to find out about the island's #1 export, marijuana, we'll get to the Rastafarians and weed fields shortly.
First, we wanted to soak up Jamaica's other favorite export, rum, a staple since colonial days.
So we headed to Appleton Estates to get a behind-the-scenes look at how the best booze on the island is bottled. What makes the Appleton rum the best rum out there?
Well, I must say, that bouquet, the aroma, the smoothness. This is what allows Appleton rum to stand above its competition.
It'll also get you faced, right?
Norman wouldn't answer that question, so instead he put us to work extracting the juice from the sugarcane.
Come on, guys, we're not seeing the muscles. Looking good.
She's a rice farmer. She doesn't make. She doesn't strain sugarcane.
How long do we do this
Almost there.
Come on. Okay, stop shaking the bamboo at me. I get it. So this is
all natural cane juice.
All right.
And Kevin, I must tell you, it puts lead in the pencil, so make sure you drink all of it.
Can I?
Oh my God! No! Oh my God!
I got an essay to write with this pencil. I'll be back.
After the cane juice is boiled, it turns into a mix of brown sugar and molasses, which tastes sweet, but looks like what you'd find in a baby's diaper.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Oh, really? Really?
It's not that bad.
With the molasses separated, the alcohol is then distilled and placed in oak barrels where the aging process takes place.
The longer the rum sits in the barrel, the longer it ages, it will get darker in color because it goes into the barrels colorless, looking like water. So the longer it sits there, it gets smoother when you swallow, a bit sweeter, and of course, guys, more expensive.
And after we were properly educated about the process, it was time to taste the rum.
Burns the sinuses. I like that.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Norman, no. Okay, so this is the best one.
This is the extra. All right, this is strictly sipping.
That's the best.
There you go.
Thanks so much, Norman. Kevin, okay, it's a sipping, not a gulping. You know
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Sipping.
Wow.
Okay.
No, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Kevin,
all
these
right?
are
Really, it was our
These are
pleasure as well.
All right?
You're really a great
All right,
guy.
take care. Take
You
care.
don't want to take them?
Yeah, well, we'll call the
All right, I'll
police
see you later,
afterwards.
Norman.
All right?
All right, I'll see you
All right,
later.
guys.
So maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but I don't think rum's your thing.
No.
You look like a baby eating a lemon for the first time.
Well, it tastes like rubbing alcohol in my mouth. Why does it have to burn so bad?
It's rum. You have to sip it and enjoy it. Don't make the kitten with the spray bottle face.
I know.
Don't do rum face.
I think it's very rude to do that in a foreign country. It's their drink of choice, and yet I'm spitting it out.
Yeah.
I apologize, Jamaica.
That's okay. And I know we're having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying some rum. We're enjoying the island. But I don't want to be a downer. It's just that I suffer from I haven't been sleeping well. I have the sleep apnea glaucoma cancer AIDS, and it's a really rare condition.
Is that real?
Yeah, there's no cure for it, but there's still is hope, and that's a treatment. And that treatment is medicinal marijuana. Weed, ganja, Mary Jane, call it what you want, but if the police catch you with it, you're probably getting a hefty fine or spending some time in jail. Now, here in California, Prop 215 has made it legal to use marijuana for medicinal reasons, but to get the green, you need to get a prescription. And to get the prescription, you have to visit a not-so-typical doctor. Dr. Frankel, how are you?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I wanted to hear about Prop 215 and how it's changed California. Can you teach me a little bit about that?
Sure. Prop 215 was passed in California in 1996. It made it legal in the state of California to allow physicians working with patients who might benefit from cannabis to be given a recommendation for its use.
Obtaining a recommendation is surprisingly simple. All you need to do is show up with a valid ID, provide some personal information, and then meet with a certified doctor.
So, doctor, when you're reviewing a patient's info, is that sort of your way of weeding out, separating those who actually need medical care from those who are just trying to get some pot?
The reason this entire system is being founded is to try and minimize the abuse and at the same time educate patients, which I feel is by far way more important than worrying about minimal abuses with cannabis while we're vastly abusing prescription medication.
What are we actually curing and what are we helping to treat?
Whether you're a cancer patient or an HIV patient, or if we have pain, if we can't eat, all of these are benefited by different forms of cannabis.
There are many different forms of cannabis, but they generally fall into two categories. Either sativa, which is used for energy, or indica, which is used for pain. But the doctors can only prescribe the pot. It's up to the patient to go to the supplier and pick up the meds.
Those at home, the viewers who want to know where they can get more info about medicinal marijuana, is there a spot you recommend online, maybe?
I would recommend normal.org.
Perfect. Dr. Frankel, thank you again. Really appreciate it.
So much.
Nice job, Kev. Did you get any weed to bring back?
You know, no, for some reason the doctor didn't give me any. I mean, I tried to complain and tell him that I had scurvy, but he wasn't buying it.
No?
No. But he did say if I get a recommendation from a psychologist, I'm more than welcome back.
Nice.
So.
That should be easy for you.
Very easy.
You guys, coming up, Kevin is going to take you inside a top-secret pot farm. I am diving off of a cliff.
You're dying off of a cliff.
I'm dying off of a
The type
cliff?
of, yes, you're going to die.
I did hear it's close to fatal. It's very scary. And Zach is joining us from Canada. All that and more as AOTS Jamaican 420 continues.
Ivory.
That just happened. Attack of the Show's Jamaican 420. We are here at Rondell's in Negril, and Crazy here is going to show us how to make the what? What is it?
Well, this is Rondell Village Delight.
Village Delight, all right.
That's a new one. So you have a touch of Cocoa Maina rum.
Uh-huh.
You have a touch of Appleton rum.
Okay.
And you have a touch of same Jamaican brand with a splash of pineapple, a splash of grenadine.
Lots of touches.
Too many of these and you'll be fending off bad touches.
Any GHB in here, secret ingredient?
Can we get a splash or a touch of that?
Not yet.
It's round one. Crazy,
Right.
thank you, sir. Cheers, man.
Cheers to you.
All right.
Best drink so far. You guys, don't forget, 420 is a worldwide event spanning many time zones. And right now, Zach Sellen is at the Herb Museum in Vancouver, British Columbia. Zach?
Thanks, guys. You know, when I first heard that Kevin and Olivia were going to Jamaica for the 420 special and I was coming to some museum in Canada, I called my agent up and I fired his ass. But then I found out it was the Herb Museum and I'd be getting a private tour. Let's go inside and get educated, baby.
Opened in 2006, the Herb Museum gives a hands-on history lesson on all things medicinal. And founder David Malmo Levine's collection covers everything from synthetics and minerals to botanicals and bud.
Now I was looking around this place and I found this Marijuana Tax Act stamp.
Well, basically, at the beginning of the U.S. colonies, it was illegal not to grow it, and you could pay your taxes in it. Anytime a farmer wanted to grow hemp, they'd go up and the government would say, well, you need a stamp for that. And they'd say, okay, here's my money. No, we're not getting any stamps this year. And that's how they banned marijuana. This bottle over here is a mystery nerve pain bottle, and it had a compound of cannabis, and that would cure you of your headache.
Now, do you have any actual marijuana plants in the window right now?
No, we try not to break obvious laws in public.
What are some of these plants that you got going on in here?
That's a datura plant, the most powerful hallucinogen known to humankind, I do believe. That's a 3-week high if you use it wrong.
What do you think the most rare, pristine item in this entire museum is?
The Eli Lilly Damiana bottle over here in this display case. This flower here from Mexico, it mimics testosterone, so you feel like a 14-year-old schoolboy when you take it.
If I just took a little small dosage, I'd be pumping my pillow feverishly?
Well, yeah, it'd be easier if you had a little Damiana.
This is the kind of guy you need around you at all times. I love this place.
There you have it, guys. The Herb Museum in Vancouver, BC. Everything you need to know about marijuana under one roof. Now, if you excuse me, I got to go in the back and get a couple more questions answered, if you know what I mean. Back to Jamaica.
Damiana? Damiana?
Damiana.
It's nature's organic roofie, and it's a gift from the gods, and I need to get it.
Because you can't get arrested?
Exactly.
That's nice. Now, you guys, if you noticed, the weed isn't for sale there because it is still illegal in Canada. However, there is a catch. You ask the right people, it's pretty easy to get.
It's actually getting easier to get it in California as well. In fact, Allison Hayslip is about to show you.
Thanks, guys. So it has been 12 years since voters passed Prop 215, which effectively legalized cannabis for medical reasons in the state of California. But here in Los Angeles, the Herbal Nutrition Center has taken marijuana dispensing to a whole new level. So, Leo, according to the law, people can grow their own marijuana for medical reasons or go to a clinic and buy it from someone. Why make a vending machine?
The vending machine is convenience to patients. They can get their different strains at any time they want.
Now, you can't just walk up to the machine, put in $80, and expect to get an eighth of Hawaiian Gold. Patients first need to get a doctor's recommendation and get fingerprinted. After that, it's time to pick out your flavor. Are there major price differences between the kinds?
There is. For instance, this being the most potent, strongest one in the house. This one is $60 an eighth, $20 a gram. And the same strain, if purchased through the machine, it's going to be $45 an eighth.
So it's cheaper to get it in the vending machine?
Way cheaper in the vending
Why
machine.
is that?
It's less overhead.
Why don't we go check that out?
Let's do that.
Awesome. Just like a soda dispenser, the pot vending machine is loaded with all of your favorite flavors. But it takes more than just a couple of bucks to get your prescription.
I want you to touch the fingerprint reader for me.
My card has been declined. Well, it's because it's your card. So the fingerprint thing works.
So let's do this one more time.
Approved.
Approved
Vending.
vending. Yes.
What are we getting? Oh, so excited. Can I get it?
Get it.
All right. Ta-da! Remember, even though medical marijuana is legal here in Cali, it is still illegal federally. But for now, patients have a new high-tech convenience where they can get their medicine.
Thanks, Allison. Now, it wouldn't be right for Kevin and I to come down to Jamaica and celebrate 420 all by ourselves. So we brought down Big C to share in the wealth. Here he is now, finding out about Jamaica's most famous son, Bob Marley.
Thanks, guys. When G4 decided to do this year's 420 special from Jamaica, they say they chose it because of the eclectic culture, the amazing music, and its unique view of marijuana. But then the bosses started to worry. How are we going to fit all of that into a 2-hour show? So I told them, Bob Marley. And that's why I'm here at the Bob Marley Museum. Located in Kingston, the museum was originally one of Marley's homes, and he built his own music studio, Tough Gong, right here on the grounds, where many of his hits with best friend and fellow whaler Bunny Livingston were created.
Music was one of those things that we used to jollificate ourselves down in Trenchtown, where it was very primitive, no electricity, no kind of civilization of any sort. So we had to make guitars from bamboo and stuff to play and enjoy ourselves.
The days of homemade guitars didn't last long, and Bob, Bunny, and the rest of the Wailers hit it big. In 1974, they released Burnin', and the album featured the now famous standards Get Up, Stand Up, and I Shot the Sheriff.
It all began in a situation that was so humble. You can know that it was something destined as an inspiration, as a gift to the people of the world.
But to his kids, Marley wasn't a star. He was just Dad.
Growing up in Jamaica, it wasn't a big deal at that time, you understand me? There was no mystique or nothing, I just Bob, that's Bob from Trenchtown.
By age 30, Bob from Trenchtown was a musical icon outside of Jamaica, hitting the charts in England and America. But just 6 years later, he was gone, losing his life to cancer.
After him pass away, then it got to another level, So you start to realize that all over the world now, everybody love Bob,
And even though Bob Marley passed away 26 years ago, his music is more influential than ever. And each year, Jamaica honors its favorite son on his birthday and holds this concert.
Bob Marley is the foundation of reggae music. He set it, paved the way for Mila as a young artist.
He's one of the greatest of all time. He's one of the patron saints of music.
And what does Marley's son Ziggy, who became a reggae legend in his own right, think people should take away from Bob's legacy?
I think generally my father was a man that bring people together, and that was what he was all about,
When Elvis was to rock and Tupac was to rap, Bob Marley is to reggae, and he lives on through the music.
Thanks, Big C. I'm sure the music will live on forever.
Yes, it's actually really too bad that he didn't live long enough to see every college dorm room wall covered with his posters.
Or his own rolling papers.
Which he has.
He has them now. Guys, don't go anywhere. We still got more coming up. I have an undercover trip to a hidden weed farm.
Very scary,
yeah,
just so you know.
Very, very frightening. We also have Jamaican slang lessons, which are a lot of fun. We've got more history, science, and facts about weed than one person would ever need to know in a lifetime. Stick around. It's AOTS Jamaican 420. Hey everybody, welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420. We're right here in the middle of the Negril Craft Market. We're stretching the power of the mighty Jamaican dollar.
So that's why we brought someone right here to explain to us exactly what
Respect,
we need
man.
to do.
Peace and love, man.
How are you, sir?
Great, sir.
All right, so Troy's here. He's selling some wares, some hand-carved stuff. What do we have here, Troy?
Some great pieces. Some master plant me bad.
And this is for legal tobacco?
Oh, marijuana.
Yeah, preferably marijuana.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Illegal or otherwise. But if now let's say Olivia's a local. Look at her. Obviously, she's a Jamaican. She comes here. She says, "Hey, I'm interested in your pipe. I want to pay Jamaican dollars. How much for Olivia?"
This one is Olivia.
Okay, hey,
She's
what's
a
up?
beautiful lady.
Hi, how are you?
Great. This one is
I give you $1.
Oh man.
Thank you. Sold. That's how I got.
Do you know how much is the rate?
No.
Oh man, the rate is 70 to 1.
70 to 1 over there.
$2.
Oh no.
Final
Let's do
offer.
that. Okay, this one I do.
She's not that beautiful. Let's talk. Come on.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, well, while Kevin goes to try to haggle and get me a pipe, We are going to go to Chris Hardwick. He has a very special 420 edition of Gadgetron where he shows you guys at home how to spend your money in the States.
Hey, it's Chris Hardwick here. Of course, it's a 420 special. Everyone else is off in Jamaica. But if you find yourself in between Eva Marie Saint and Otto Preminger's star, you know you're right here at Mike's Smoke Shop, a potporium. Because I'm such a pot-tard, I thought I would come down here and talk to one of my good friends who is an expert in the field.
Why would you consider yourself a pot expert?
Well, I like it a lot, and I was High Time Magazine's Stoner of the Year in 2000-something. And I have a movie coming out called Super High Me. It's like Super Size Me with pot instead of McDonald's.
Well, let's go see what we have in store for some good Gadgetron pot technology.
All right. Well, as you can see, there's all sorts of pipes you can use. There's glass, there's metal, there's wood. People have different arguments about which they prefer. This is a Darth Vader pipe bong thingy. When you smoke this, you have to go. And then my personal favorite.
This is okay. So this is your personal favorite out of all of these. Now, why?
Well, because it fits in my pocket the easiest. It only costs like 10 or 20 bucks. So when it gets clogged, I throw it out. Because I'm the world's laziest pot smoker. I don't want to do any maintenance.
What is the purpose of having water in a marijuana smoking device?
I think it has something to do with making it so it's less of a harsh hit. And these are bubblers that we have here. These are like little pipes that have a chamber that you fill with water.
Isn't this, I mean, for real, isn't this called the Sherlock? Because it's sort of Sherlock
This one right here?
pipe shape?
Well, I know that I solve a lot of crimes when I smoke one of these. For the bubblers here, I prefer this small single bubbler because it's, it's portable.
You like, just easy functionality.
I like
to
things
your
that
device.
fit in my marsupial pouch
Right.
that I have in my hoodie that I'm wearing. These are all basically vaporizers. This is the old-fashioned box style.
This looks like something Edison invented.
And this is like a handheld thing that you can you put these bags on it. Then this is the best one of them all, in my opinion. This is the Volcano. Once you grind up the weed, then you put it in here, and then you put this little jobber-do on there. I know it's a lot of technical talk, but stick with me. Then you take your bag, put this on here like this, and then then you fire it up. When it gets to the proper temperature, you let it go, and you just. Wow, that's even just with air in it. It's a pretty good hit.
It's a pretty good job.
It's pretty good, yeah. The doctors recommend the vaporizer, as do I.
Plus, it's portable and easy to take on planes.
I said it's not very portable, Chris. Would you have that helmet on when I said that?
Doug Benson, comedian, pot expert, star of Super High Me, a movie which I hope a lot of people will go see.
I hope
Thank
so,
you for
too.
being here and enlightening us for the different ways to get pot into your system.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's it for me and Gadgetron. Now back to you guys on the fabulous island of Jamaica, where you got to go away on a vacation. P.S. Go yourselves.
Whoa! Is it me or is the new chick getting uppity?
No, she is. Don't worry, I'll take care of him.
Please.
Now, you guys, when you think of Jamaica, the first drug that comes to mind is probably marijuana.
Yeah, weed.
Right?
Little ganj.
However,
little
like we
kush,
told you,
little-
it is illegal. But there's a but. You should be
Oh,
smiling.
I'm here. Tell me about it. What is it?
Hallucinogenic mushrooms are completely legal, and
Respect.
thanks. Down the road from here is the most famous place to get them, Miss Brown's Tea House.
Right down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Kevin, we're still shooting.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
The subject of hippie anthems around the world, Miss Brown's Tea House is home to a famous strain of mushroom that the locals claim will make you see Jesus. What began as a small home operation in 1971 has spawned two houses that are landmarks here in the Grill. The mom and pop shop sells psychedelic mushrooms, which are actually legal on the island. And I caught up with the owner, Bennett Burton, at the original tea house to see the shrooms that have the world buzzing.
No, Mom, what I'm telling you is that we're all a virus. Human
Kevin?
beings are just... Hey.
What are you doing?
Call
This
you-
is my
call-
story.
oh, she was doing it on the phone. What, you think I missed this? We're doing a shoot about mushrooms? You think I wouldn't be here?
No, I had a feeling you would be here. So now that you're here, you're going to work with me. We're going to be talking.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we do. Hey, Burton.
Yes.
Let's do a little work with Olivia. Can we get her a little hot cup of the tea?
No,
How about
no.
three cups?
No
I'm sure.
tea.
There
Nothing.
you go.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But I do want to ask you, what is the history behind Miss Brown?
She's a founder from in the hippies days. So all over the world, people heard about this same place. Mrs. Brown, she's famous.
Because I see a whole big tray of mushrooms down there. Wait, can you bring it in here and check them out?
So this is the shiitake.
No. These are button mushrooms. No. Delicious in lasagna.
This is Silly Simon.
Now, which one gets you the most high?
Blues.
Have you ever seen anybody have a really bad trip over these mushrooms?
No, just make you feel nice, like you're floating.
Oh, like being in the water.
Exactly.
Can I eat it, or do they all have to be in tea?
No, you can eat it.
Is it more potent or powerful if you brew it in tea as opposed to just eating it?
When you eat it, you eat everything. So I think it hits you quicker than the tea.
I really want to know how you prepare the tea, because if anything, I think I could do the tea. So can you take us right now to show us how you prepare it?
For sure.
All right, we are making tea right now with Chef Burton.
Yeah.
Now, how many mushrooms did you put into this?
I put about 8 mushrooms.
And how many cups of tea is that going to make?
2.5 cups of tea.
That's a lot of mushrooms for this
Now, is that for a very strong cup of tea?
Yeah, man, for sure. Kevin wants double strength.
And there it is, everybody. A nice steaming cup of Mrs. Brown's tea. Well, you can't do that on camera. Here's to Jesus. Look away. We'd like to thank Burton for sharing with us his family secret.
Smells like pieces.
Okay, we'll get your own, Kevin.
Did you meet Jesus?
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Doesn't like you, though.
Get it.
Now, if you are a pothead and you want legit cannabis journalism, there is only one place to turn: High Times Magazine.
Now, anyone who has ever puff past knows that High Times is the ultimate magazine for marijuana aficionados. That's why I'm up here at their New York City offices hanging out with one of the most famous pot smokers in the world, Stephen Hager, who's going to give us an exclusive look at behind the scenes of this sweet magazine.
What exactly is High Times Magazine?
High Times Magazine was founded in 1974. It's an outgrowth of the 60s counterculture. We spent the last 32 years trying to figure out how to make marijuana legal.
Now, how did they go about going and getting the first issue of High Times published?
They just went and published it and threw it out on a newsstand, and then they had to reprint it 5 or 6 times within a few weeks because it sold so fast.
34 years later, the Marijuana magazine has a circulation of 175,000 and is a favorite read for the cannabis counterculture.
What the counterculture really is it's the culture that believes all people can actually exist together and have fun and party together.
The Cannabis Cup is something that High Times created about 20 years ago.
And I was thinking, well, gee, why don't we do a Harvest Festival in Amsterdam where it's legal? And then we could establish a worldwide standard for quality cannabis. The stuff that wins the Cannabis Cup is typically grown indoors. The big strains right now, LA Kush, New York Diesel. Most legendary right now is probably Chem Dog.
What would you say the general readership is of High Times?
We've got 2 distinct groups, baby booming hippie generation, and then we have this new generation of 20-year-olds.
All right, there you have it. Now, I think this behind-the-scenes look has proven 2 things. 1, High Times is still the ultimate weed resource, and 2, people in the marijuana community still do something with their paper besides just rolling it.
High Times is by far the best pot mag in the world, and believe me, after that, it's a pretty steep drop-off.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're filled with typos and blank pages, or they're bound with rusty staples. You don't want anything to do with it.
That's true. You guys, you got to stick with the major publishers when it comes to marijuana magazines, because you don't want tetanus when you're going through your Bud of the Month centerfold.
Definitely don't.
All right, coming up, you guys, we have an inside secret look at an actual pot farm, and I go cliff diving, and the only hospital is miles away, and hopefully it's not raining because I'll probably slip and fall. You guys, AOTS Jamaican 420 continues right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've traveled over half our campus to be here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if I say I'm a weed man, you will agree. I'm a weed man.
There's a whole harvest of pot under our feet. No one can grow it except for me. My bomb reaches across the room. I clear your bomb lip. I clear it out! Don't bully me, Daniel!
Welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420, everybody. Quick shout out to our buddies Harold and Kumar, and thank them for sponsoring our 420 show. We are going to talk with them a little bit later.
Much love. Actually, we're here right now on Captain Eveready's boat. How you doing, Captain? If you've never seen one of these before, it's a glass-bottom boat, which means, guess what? There's glass on the bottom. It actually allows you to see whatever's going on in the ocean. So when you're out there, you can see shells or fish or missing spring breakers, whatever. Just phone it in. And if you're stoned, you can kill an entire month out there. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
Now, while we learn what's on the bottom of the ocean, you guys are going to learn a little bit more about marijuana.
Our higher learning of hemp continues. When we last left America in the 1700s, it was awash with weed. But by the 20th century, cannabis had been given a bad name. Literally, as you'll find out in part 2 in our history of pot. Hemp production was a massive industry in colonial America, but by the early 20th century, it became more popular to smoke it than to sail with it. And that's when the government decided to get involved.
We had been growing up with cannabis, sativa, hemp for hundreds and hundreds of years. So if the government would say we want to ban cannabis or hemp, people would say, well, why? We've been growing it for 300 years. But because they used a term like it was marijuana, no one ever heard of it before, they were able to ban a very familiar plant by using just a different word for it and then banning it under that way.
And to make sure that marijuana's stigma stuck, the government decided to get Hollywood to help out a little.
Reefer Madness was made basically by a government that was in the pocket of the oil and drug companies. And they made it to put fear into people.
It takes a kernel of truth in that the cannabis smoker gets happy and then exaggerates it to wild proportions.
People who weren't scared of cannabis and weren't scared of hemp would suddenly become scared of marijuana because it led to sexual depravity and murder and rape and pillaging and running people over.
So by the 1940s, cannabis had become marijuana, and the great cash crop of colonial times was now illegal. But marijuana would soon make a triumphant comeback, as I'll tell you all about in our next edition of The History of Pot.
Is it just me, or does Zach know a little too much about pot?
Yeah. I'm willing to bet he's been researching for this project since he was like 12. But we appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. He's actually not the only guy on TV, though, that knows a thing or two about weed.
You?
Maybe. But I was actually referring to veteran comedian and stoner Joe Rogan.
Yes.
I got to stand next to him for a very special 420 edition of The Loop One-on-One. Joe Rogan is a comedian and host who is a big advocate of the legalization of marijuana. So, Joe, you've been incredibly outspoken when it comes to marijuana, being a proponent of it. Why is that? Why did you decide to embrace that?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with being honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with being yourself.
Why is it that pot or weed still have a negative perception?
Well, I mean, they've done a really good job of creating a lot of propaganda, and there's been a lot of money behind it. You know, the Partnership for a Drug-Free America is supported by alcohol companies and tobacco companies, and they put out propaganda. There's a state of consciousness that comes along with consuming cannabis, you know.
Maybe it's the propaganda that I've been reading that says, well, the reason it's illegal is because of, well, mind control. Because if you smoke weed, then you'll start thinking in other ways, and then you want to fight back against the government, and they can't have that.
Well, for sure they know that that's a real possibility. For sure they know that there's a state of consciousness that comes along with consuming cannabis. You know, whether you smoke it or you eat it or whatever, it definitely brings with it a higher level of awareness and an inability to absorb propaganda. You know, people that smoke weed, propaganda just seems so silly and ridiculous to them.
Marijuana isn't the only way Joe likes to expand his perception. He actually owns a mind-altering machine called an isolation tank.
You're lying in this tank. It has 11 inches of water that's heated to 93.5 degrees. And you can't feel the water because it's the same temperature as the surface of your skin. You can't really distinguish where the water begins, where the air ends, and then on top of that, you close the lid and you're in total darkness. Your brain has nothing to process. It's about, like, learning about yourself.
Typically, a tank costs around $7,000. And if you want more information on them, just go to Joe Rogan's website.
You don't have to smoke pot, right? But it shouldn't be illegal. It should be completely 100% legal. It changes your state of mind, and, you know, just it calms you and relaxes you, and it doesn't kill anybody.
So what are you doing for 420?
I'm gonna get high.
Joe, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Joe seemed very what's the word, passionate about pot. Is
Yeah,
that right?
well, yeah, absolutely. Joe's passionate about everything. Like, that's why I like him. Like, he's just super into everything that he talks about, from weed to alien conspiracies to the man to deprivation tanks, you name it. So thank you very much, Joe.
Very
that was
cool.
an honor.
Now, earlier at the Bob Marley tribute concert, we showed you guys that reggae music and Bob Marley's music not only was a huge impact on this island, but all over the world. And right now, we have someone who played with both Ziggy and Bob Marley. His name's Beezy, and he's talking about reggae on the beach with Big C.
Hey guys, Big C here, and I'm at Reggae Beach. This is the most appropriate place I can find to meet with my man Beast. He's a local reggae legend, and he's going to teach me the inspiration and the inhalation behind reggae music. Ian Beezy Coleman is a local celebrity who has been seen on tour with Ziggy Marley for the last 10 years. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Beezy, I see you know what you're doing with the guitar. What pushed you into the reggae music with so many types of music being out there, rap, rock and roll?
What pushed me into it is, when I see Peter Tosh and Bob Marley and, the rest of the guys, that kind of music, reggae music, really inspired me to really start to play music. I see those guys as, my icon. So they inspired me a lot.
Ganja is a real big topic in reggae. What is its relation to reggae?
With the herb, you have more, you slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? There's more space in the music. Herb and music goes together. You understand me? The herb is the sugar for the music.
A lot of people may not know from what they see on TV, but marijuana is actually illegal in Jamaica, right?
Very much illegal too, because if they catch you with a spliff, it's a big problem. 90% of this country goes upon marijuana. I don't know how the hell they're going to stop marijuana from burning, you know what I mean?
Although marijuana is illegal in Jamaica, reggae isn't. And I think it's time Beezy and I have a little jam session.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a little feeling though. Thanks for the crash course of reggae, man, but I'm going to leave the music up to you. Why don't you play us through this and toss it back to you guys on the other side of the island.
Yeah, man, bless up. I just see pressure where the youth them I feel. That's why them pick up them steel. Mama ban a billion bar. Why? She knows someone gonna fall.
All right, thanks, Big C and Beezy. Now, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Ziggy Marley has a new project coming out, so here's more on that now.
Love is my religion.
Ziggy Marley's latest album, Love Is My Religion, not only won him a Grammy, but it also led to a live DVD. It's 2 hours of Ziggy's inspiring reggae songs, including the hit Love Is My Religion. Ziggy says the songs are influenced by one man in his life.
I get inspired from my father because of what he did with his music and how his music make change and is there for inspiring people.
The DVD is available in stores now.
Love is my religion.
God, I tell you, that family it reminds me of the Pereiras.
Why?
It was just talent all over. The Marleys, the Pereiras, practically interchangeable.
That sentence just sounds so right to me.
Thank you. It felt right to say.
You guys, coming up, we go inside a top secret pot farm. I'm diving off a cliff for no apparent reason, and we've got the actual guys who started 420, all that and more bikini wear for me. Woo! Coming up, don't go anywhere.
Do you want me to take my top off?
Don't take your top off.
Okay.
I think I'm having an overdose of this, so is my wife.
Overdose of what?
Marijuana. I don't know if it had something in it. Can you please send rescue?
And is there any weapons in the house?
No. Please come. I think we're dying. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. I really do. Time is going by really, 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 really slow.
Did you guys do anything else today besides marijuana?
No, that's it, but I don't know what was it. The marijuana could have been, there could have been something in the marijuana. Let's just go in the Red Wings game.
What?
Welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420. We're back here at Appleton Estates because I left my keys and we need a drink of 3 or 12 or 20. This stuff is really good. Now, if this scene looks familiar, there's a good reason for that. We're on the label, suckers.
That's right. Let that blow your smoke-filled mind. We're on the label, holding the label, About to drink the label.
What?
Very meta.
It's like MC Escher for alcoholics.
That's right.
It's good.
You guys, coming up, I go cliff diving without signing a waiver. It was very stupid. And Kevin is taking you inside a very secret, like hidden away pot farm that even the police and public don't know about.
Equally as stupid, actually. But first, you know, here in Jamaica they speak English, but it's not exactly the kind of English that we speak back home. In fact, if you want to make your way around these islands, you got to learn a few new words. So here's Big C with some of the basics.
Now, the official language of Jamaica is English. But I think if you want to hang with the locals, you need to know some official Jamaican slang. So what I'm going to do right now is give you a quick lesson. Guys, so the first word I'm going to teach you is Irie. Now in Jamaica, Irie has numerous meanings, but they all translate to good.
Well, Irie stands for good, everything good. So if I sit there and say, wow, everything all right, I say, yeah man, everything Irie, yeah. That's the word Irie.
Right. Right in Jamaica, everything is Irie.
Yeah, everything is Irie, man.
Now the next term I'm going to teach you is real important also, because if you say what's going on in Jamaica, you're not going to get an answer. So you better be able to say, why go on? Why go on with you?
You see me, you know, today I go and chill, you know, because life just one way, and life comes before everything. You see me, I deal with, so that's why I'm telling you, say, today I go and chill, I watch it for the Gideon, you see me, I deal with.
Now another term you're going to have to learn out here is Ross. And Ross, it's a universal term. Sometimes it means good, sometimes it means bad, but it just depends on how you say it.
Ross? Ras. Okay? The Ras house on the top of the hill, that means so beautiful, gorgeous, and dangerous. That's marijuana. You get good, you get bad. That's the Ras weed that tastes the best.
That tastes the best, so it's called.
That's the one that Bob Marley smoked. You need a Ras pipe, man? It's made of ironwood, man. The Ras hood in Jamaica.
Ras.
Break.
That's Ras. Now the final term I'm going to give you is not a good term. I'm going to start you off with that. And it's called bumbleclot.
Bumbleclot is a very bad word. The cops can lock you up for it. The ass can be hair, and it's a piece of cloth. You using wipe and wipe.
The word is so bad you can go to jail for it?
Yes.
Well, shh. Why didn't you tell me that 5 minutes ago? I was saying that nasty word like.
It's a very nasty word.
So now you know what's going on. It's Irie going down right here in Jamaica. I'm about to hear the, a Ross party. Peace.
Irie, wagwan. Yeah.
Irie, you sound like a bumbleclot.
No, Irie, wagwan.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
all right, folks, we're here at the Appleton Estates Wishing Well. It's right behind us. And, visitors come, they toss a coin in, they make a wish. You know how these things work. But Appleton actually collects the money, and they donate it to a local school, which is kind of neat.
That is nice.
The only trick is that you have to stand backwards when you toss the coin in. So,
here we go.
I kind of wish there were no more hunger in the world.
Aw, I wish I never aborted the twins. Irie! Coming up, you guys, we are going to show you where to buy weed in Jamaica. But first, Zach got a chance to sit down with two of Hollywood's biggest stoners, Harold and Kumar, and talk about their new film, Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
In 8 hours, we're going to be in Amsterdam. This is amazing.
America's favorite stoners are venturing out again, and this time they're picking up more than just burgers.
This is bigger than I thought.
Cal Penn and John Cho reprise their roles as pot-loving pals and piss off just about everybody in Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
They were locked up for less than an hour. They already escaped. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
It takes place minutes after the first one, and we're trying to go to Amsterdam. We are on the plane. Kumar brings a bong on the plane. Somebody thinks it's a bomb. We get sent to Guantanamo Bay.
Welcome to Guantanamo Bay. You boys like to spoon?
No.
The guys bust out and make it back to the States where, in the process of trying to clear their name, they smoke out with the president.
They thought you guys were terrorizers.
And have another run-in with a hopped-up Neil Patrick Harris.
Dude, I was able to perform an appendectomy at age 14. I think I can handle a couple mushrooms.
Isn't that just a TV show?
Well, I think I'm still on a bender, and I don't know how I get to Louisiana, which is where they are, I believe. So I pick them up and take them to a
a house of ill fame,
So to speak.
So to speak.
Where you've already been, you're
Get
regular.
wet.
Thank you.
Can I say that?
Absolutely.
Can I say wet?
What's acceptable on our show?
Okay, good.
And since the guys starred in a movie all about marijuana, I figured they might have some insight on the 420 phenomenon.
Were you guys aware of that holiday and the 420, vernacular sweeping the world?
I was not aware of that until maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, so this is all new to me.
I didn't quite know where it comes from. Isn't that a cop thing? Hey, you've got to break a 420?
Sorry guys, not even close. It looks like they'll have to watch my interview with the guys who started it all. But I still had one question left to ask.
The movie comes out April 25th, but not quite 420. That's because stoners need like 5 days to catch up, right?
It'll take a stoner 5 days to figure out where the theater is.
They're tardy people.
He's not a terrorist. He's just an idiot.
Irie, Eulin Kumatulux, Ras.
Please don't do that. Not in front of Paul. See, look, okay.
Oh yeah,
He's not very happy with what you did just there.
I was just trying to speak
leave it
his
to
language.
the locals. Leave it to the locals. You guys, coming up, we go to Jamaica's hottest nightlife. I dive off a cliff and we uncover a top secret pot farm. That's all right here as G4's 420 special continues.
I respect.
Stop. See, the donkey's mad. Donkey's mad.
Anything?
No, it's nothing.
It's 420 and we don't have any bud.
I know, sorry.
Jesus!
Hi, everybody. Happy 420.
Hey, weird little pot puppet.
I thought you said this was cached.
It was.
I'm Potty, the 420 pot Scot. I'm here with all kinds of helpful pot tips. For instance, to get rid of unsightly pot tits, you should always...
Sorry, really quick. Are you actually made of pot?
I sure am. Why didn't you break yourself off a little something and hit the potty?
Don't mind if I do, okay?
Ooh, ow, ooh, that tickles.
Hey, Jeff, man, you gotta get over here. There's a little man made of pot.
Oh, you're so funny.
This is gonna be dope.
What were we talking about again?
Hey, what's going on?
Potty, this is cool if my friends are here, right?
Well, I thought it was just going to be the three of us. But okay. Stranger's just a friend you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Whoa. Take it easy. A little potty goes a long way. It'll grow back.
Oh, I got a leg.
No, not from there.
Is his ass pot? Can I smoke his bottom?
That's the dank stuff. Oh God, it's cold everywhere. Is everybody else cold? I can't feel anything. Oh God, it's cold. You'll save me, right?
If it burns, we can smoke it.
You bitch. I hope you get pulled over while you're holding. See you in hell.
Timing!
Welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420. We are at the world famous Rick's Cafe that's been around since 1974. It's a long time, right?
87 years old.
As you guys can see, this is built onto the cliffs, and I don't know if you noticed, but the locals have a bit of a habit of jumping off the cliffs.
Yes,
Coming
they do.
up later, I'm actually going to talk to some of the divers, and I've been told that I am jumping off the freaking cliff myself.
You've been told?
I've been told.
What, was it a mandate? You
It
have
is.
to? Are you going to do it?
Well, look, when the camera rolls, I jump.
You have to. That's part of television rule.
For 3 seconds of TV.
Yes, well,
You're
before
welcome.
you go risking life and limb for those 3 seconds, let's check in with Zach Selwyn, who's at the world's largest head shop.
All right, this is Dominic Kramer. This is his place, THC. What exactly is this store?
Toronto Hemp Company, possibly the world's greatest cannabis culture superstore.
3 floors of ganja goodness, the Toronto Hemp Company carries all things cannabis. And the main floor is loaded with everyone's favorite domestic hemp products.
And so we've got all the food stuff. We've even got some hemp wood floor finishing stuff.
Granola, I love that.
Of course, you got to have the granola and the brownie mix too, of course. We've got bombs, storage containers, stash boxes.
This is what I used to do in college. Mom comes to visit. Oh, honey, so great of you. You're eating soup. No, Mom, I'm storing my bud. That's what I'm doing.
Head upstairs and you'll find a full floor of smoking devices.
What do you got up here?
Welcome to the Holy Land. Papers, cleaning supplies, pipes, everything. Start off with the plastic bongs and some of the vaporizers and that kind of good stuff. And then it's just glass heaven from here on. The pinnacle is the Roar. The most expensive of the main stuff on the floor is probably about a little over $1,000.
This is the top floor here, bong heaven. What's downstairs in the basement?
And welcome to the basement.
Wow, let's start with this thing.
Vertical gardening setup. It's a beautiful thing. Increases your yields magnificent. Basically, the idea is that instead of having your lights above, your plants below, this wraps your plants all around your lights, so you maximize the surface area, and it basically doubles your yield. That's what this place is all about, right? We help the primarily urban gardeners, small-scale urban gardeners who are looking to grow a little bit of medicine for themselves or, their loved one type of thing.
If you're looking for anything for your ganja needs, there is no place better than THC, the Toronto Hemp Company. And here I am standing without no wallet. Damn you.
That head shop was huge. Do you think a lot of stoners get lost in there?
Yes, I think they get lost on the way there, in there, and then
when they
leaving
leave?
there. Yes.
All right, as you guys can see, we have moved up to the bar here at Rick's Cafe. Now, technically, you're not supposed to drink and dive, but as you can imagine, a lot of would-be jumpers that are nervous come and stop at the bar first, and I gotta tell you, I'll be here first, too, before I jump.
Well, I think you should, because there's a local legend that I heard when I was out wandering through the villages looking for the hidden pot farm. They say, and I don't know if this is true, but they say that 6 to 12 red stripes actually make the 35-foot dive less daunting. I don't know why that would be.
I don't think I can drink that many.
But yeah, I think you need to just take your time with it, get into it. Before you dive, though, let's check in with Big C, who's on the beach talking to some locals about the Jamaican weed.
Hey guys, Big C here, and I've been all over the island doing the local thing, but G4 sent me here to find out about this country's #1 export, marijuana. So what better place to do so than at the Bob Marley Fest? So I'm gonna ask a couple of people a couple of questions about cannabis. You smell that stuff? What you smell in the air right now?
Yeah, man, the weed, man, Cali weed.
I smell it a lot. I came in and I told my sister, marijuana is illegal in Jamaica, but today is the day that you can actually smoke it and not be arrested or harassed for doing so. There's a lot of it here.
Where you get your herbs from?
Herbs is all around, man. This is Jamaica, man.
I heard today is like one of the days that you can smoke marijuana just because it's the Bob Marley Festival. Is that the truth?
Yeah, I think they just relax the laws, because it's Bob Marley and there's a lot of Rastafarians around and they're kind of allowed.
I like it. I want it to be legal, to be where you can just do it and have no problem with Babylon.
No problem with Babylon either. Because I don't have a gun, I don't carry a knife, only my marijuana.
How do you get your marijuana?
Oh God, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can even get it in the police stations.
Tourists are looking for you right now.
This marijuana is from the West, and they know that the marijuana is from the West is the best.
When was the last time you smoked some marijuana?
Yesterday.
When was the last time you tried some marijuana?
Last year.
Last week?
No, last year. I tried.
Yesterday?
No, I tried last
5 minutes ago? All right, this is what I found out. God made it. Man made it illegal. Almost everybody here smokes it. And if you really want to get it, go to the police station. Peace.
Wait a second. Did they just say you can get it at a police station?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I don't know who we need to call or email or if we need to start an online petition, but we have to get Cops Jamaica. That would be awesome.
I'm pretty sure G4 already has it, but you know what I do know? G4 has The Block. It's a whole new season starting tonight at 5:30. It's the hotel where anything happens. It's at Big Bear this time, which is very exciting.
Yes.
They're going to follow the lives of snowboarders as they party hard and hit the slopes, brah.
Woo! Seriously, dust off your board and get ready for the hotel where anything goes. Again, it's on G4 tonight at 5:30, and if you guys want more info, it's simple. You got to hop on the internet. It's online now. Go to g4tv.com/theblock.
You guys don't go anywhere. Coming up, I'm jumping off a cliff, and I'm going to die. You want to watch the first run of this. Don't sit around for the re-air. Sit your butt right there.
Break your neck or your vagina.
Hopefully both.
There you go. You might as well. At that point, just be a cast from head to toe.
That's right, you guys. We've got my death and more 420 goodness when we come back. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
Do they make a badge cast?
I don't think so. Jamaican 420. We are here at Bourbon Beach, and we are going to learn how to make Jamaica's most famous food, jerk chicken.
Yeah, in just a few minutes, Chef Frank over here is going to reveal all. But right now, he's got to stoke the flames, get the fire going, because while some people think it's all about the spices, they're actually completely wrong and will die a slow, painful,
They're not
lonely death.
completely
No,
wrong.
they are, because it's the smoke from the pimento wood. That's what
Yeah,
actually makes the jerk
that's
chicken
true.
truly authentic.
Now, Chef Frank, what exactly are you doing right now?
Okay, I'm putting the stick for the grill. The stick is the grill.
And how long does it take to actually cook the chicken all the way through?
2 hours.
Does it have to be 475 degrees right here? Because I'm melting.
No, it's not.
We can put jerk chicken sauce on me, put me on the wood, and then have some jerk mun.
Yeah, that'd be
good. All right, you guys. Well, in just a few minutes, Chef Frank here is going to teach us how to prepare the chicken to put on the fire. But, as I promised, I'm about to jump off a frickin' cliff.
Dummy.
Rick's Cafe is one of Negrill's biggest draws. It has spectacular views, wild parties, and, most impressive, this massive cliff right behind me, and the crazies who jump off it. For more than 3 decades, locals and tourists alike have been testing their courage by taking the plunge from this 33-foot cliff. But before I attempt to jump, I thought I'd warm up on the history of Rick's Cafe.
Rick's Cafe has been famous over the years since 1974. We are known for the cliff jumping and the sunsets.
What kind of people come out to do the cliffs? Are they a lot of locals, or is it all the tourists who jump the cliff?
Local and tourists come and do the cliff. We have a lower part, which is 20 feet from the depth. People can jump from that or from the high part.
The view from up here is dizzying. It takes a big pair to even get this close to the edge. The locals throw themselves from atop that tree. My big pair, stay right here. I'm here with
Spider.
Did your mother name you Spider?
No, people.
Why?
The way I climb the rocks.
How long have you been diving?
Around 10 years.
What makes you want to come out here and potentially risk your life?
So it's about the living, it's an honest way of making a living, and then I love what I do.
They gave us $5 to give them any kind of dive they want from the cliff, $15 from the top of the tree. It's 25 feet deep, so even if you jump from the moon at this point, you won't hit the bottom.
So give me a tutorial on what I should be doing to be careful.
Keep your arms out for balance. Just before you hit the water, you want to put it in on your chest, by your side, or over your head.
All right, well, I'm gonna go jump. With a tip or two from the experts, it was my turn to throw caution into the wind.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Hey guys, as you saw, I just took the jump, but I don't have anything to say. My butthole has something to say. It is literally filled with all of the ocean water in Jamaica. It is probably the size of this microphone right now, and it's throbbing. But you know what? I jumped this cliff. If you come to Jamaica and you don't do this, I gotta tell you, you haven't lived until you almost died on this massive cliff. My apologies to my butt.
So did they let you keep all the souvenir salt water that you had in your ass, or no?
Thankfully, it all came out. But
All
I got,
clear, all
no,
clear.
but I got to show you guys. So if you notice, if you TiVo and rewind, I actually sat down into it, which was very painful.
Wait,
This is
you
what
mean you
happened.
sat as you were falling? Ooh, wow.
That hurts. It hurts
Yeah.
very much.
But it's very Courtney Love. Like it's kind of chic.
Well, thank you very
I kinda,
much.
So what you're saying was you were in mid dive, right? And you're like, oh, look, Olivia, look at how adorable I am. Oh no, I'm all bruised up.
Okay,
and
so
now I'm addicted to meth.
So I'm
Allegedly.
I'm not addicted to that. I'm the chicken. Thanks,
just
Kevin.
saying.
You didn't jump off. You didn't jump
I
off.
wasn't there.
All right, let's get back to the jerk chicken, and you should behave and respect me from
Yes,
now on.
ma'am. I like the jerk chicken because it's one of those recipes that, like, some stoner came up with when he had the munchies. It's like, let's go into the cabinet, let's grab every single spice we can, let's dip a chicken in it for 15 minutes and see what happens.
And it's delicious.
It is delicious.
Okay, guys, well, now that we've thrown our birds on the grill, it is time to answer the age-old question, what is 420? What exactly is it? Where did it come from? Well, guess what, you guys? We tracked down the actual guys who came up with it over 30 years ago.
We did?
We found the guys. Here they are. It's the Waldos.
Oh, we've been looking for him.
You go anywhere in the world and mention 3 little numbers, and a toker will know that you're a member of the weed-smoking family. But where did 420 come from? Students at San Rafael High School during the 70s, the teenagers who created 420 are now family men and professionals. So AOTS had to hide their identity to get their exclusive story. But the guys who called themselves the Waldos revealed absolutely everything you need to know about 420. Now, where did the name the Waldos come from?
We hung out on a wall at San Rafael High School. We sat on this wall, and all these guys, they just made fun of everybody walking by and smoking weed along with it.
At 420 every day.
At 420 every day.
And their favorite reefer rendezvous was the Louis Pasteur statue on campus. But the roots to the 420 story run deeper.
A friend of ours came up one day and he said, "Hey, I've got a treasure map here. I've got a brother in the United States Coast Guard growing a patch of pot." They thought that their commanding officer was going to bust them, so they were nervous and they didn't want to pick it. So we decided to meet at 4:20 in the afternoon to go pick this patch of pot. We never found the patch. We would go maybe once or twice a week. After we didn't find the patch, we would still look at each other. 420.
Now, is there any proof that the Waldos actually started this green phrase?
This is the only evidence on Earth that 420 was used in relation to getting high and weed. I was about a year older. I went away off to college, and Dave wrote me a letter here.
This letter also gives insight as to how a small band known as the Grateful Dead may have contributed to the spread of the 420 phrase.
My brother is one of the Dead's manager in one of their side bands, and last weekend I had a job as a doorman backstage at a concert. I smoked out with David Crosby and one of the Dead. I got paid $20.
Big money. Big money.
P.S. A little 420 enclosed for your weekend.
It was like a secret code for us, and then after we left high school, about 15 years later, we noticed people writing 420 on benches and carving it into tables and things like that. So we said, "Hey, man, this is starting to evolve here."
You know, we tend to forget about the pot smokers that came before us, but every day at 420 when you blaze one up, just be thankful that 5 kids in the 1970s came up with the whole thing. It makes 420 so much sweeter.
We don't advocate smoking marijuana, but hey, it's worked for me.
Did you know that? Because for some reason I thought that 420 had to do with Jerry Garcia's birthday or some kind of police code, but it actually just came from some Northern California kids wanting to get high after school.
Just like Easter.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go anywhere, folks. We got herb history coming up. Then Big C is hanging with some real-life Rastas. I think they'll be at home. And we're taking you inside a very secret pot farm where someone is probably going to get killed. We also have so much more. Stick around, man. It's the 420 special.
Don't do that.
Wagwan. Irie. Red Stripe. Dysentery.
Attack.
Everybody, welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420. First of all, gotta thank our buddies Harold and Kumar for really sponsoring the show and allowing us to be right here at Margaritaville on the white, sandy, mosquito-infested beaches of Negril, Jamaica. Now, this is, of course, the place where parrot heads flock from across the world to sample, what else?
Some Jimmy Buffett and some margaritas.
That's right. It's all about the margaritas. They want to turn their life into a Jimmy Buffett song for at least 5 hours and then vomit profusely.
And that's unfortunate. You guys, there is lightning and thunder coming up right behind us. I don't know if you can see it. We're about to die and about to get rained on. So before that happens, let's get to our final installment of the history of marijuana.
Welcome back to the history of pot. Now, when we left off, the government was just banning cannabis in the 30s and 40s. But in just a few short decades, marijuana would be back and become bigger than ever. After a world war and a baby boom, America was gripped in a Cold War during the 50s and 60s. And while the American public supported the Korean War, the nation was divided over our involvement in Vietnam. During this time, a hippie and marijuana movement spread across college campuses.
You had a lot of social awareness, a lot of militancy on campuses, a lot of young people angry, and you had the music of the time was so influential. We can't underestimate how powerful the music, which was by and large a creation of cannabis.
Why did pot come back in the 60s? The Beatles.
and Bob Dylan made it very, very hip and popular.
It produced a remarkable time that we'll probably never see again, because I don't think we'll have those elements all together in one place.
Pot had returned, but by the 80s, America was already saying no, and the war on drugs was in full swing. But by the 90s, grunge rock was the new proponent of pot. And with hip-hop artists such as Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre rapping about the chronic, marijuana was back in the mainstream, leading to the passage of Prop 215 in California.
California now had its own law that said marijuana was legal for people with medical use, and that had never happened before.
215 was historic because it was really the first time that medical marijuana was legitimized in Western society since the 30s.
But even though marijuana has been legal in some states for over a decade, the battle for nationwide legalization still rages. So there you have it. 12,000 years of history in just a couple of minutes. See ya.
That's the official word on the history of marijuana. Now let's go over to Zach, who's in Canada, with a guy named the Prince of Pot.
Thanks, guys. Now, when you talk about the top pot-friendly cities in the world, Amsterdam's probably going to take the top spot. However, running a close second has got to be our neighbors to the north. I'm talking about Vancouver, British Columbia. Known for its permissive pot attitude, cool cafes, and BC Bud, Vancouver has become one of the capitals of cannabis culture. And the man behind all that is the Prince of Pot himself, Mark Emery. Now, they call you the Prince of Pot. Where did that come from? What does that name mean?
This newspaper in the United States was covering what I was doing and called me the Prince of Pot. And it was all about me, and it was a great worldwide presentation. So ever since that, all the media used it, including, unfortunately, the DEA. They call me the Prince of Pot, too.
Pricks.
The DEA arrested the Prince of Pot in 2005 for selling millions of dollars worth of cannabis seeds, and he currently awaits extradition.
Where are we? Can you describe the building and what's going on upstairs?
Well, this is Amsterdam, Vancouver. This is the one block in the city where they tend to allow people to bring their marijuana and consume them in our buildings around here. People always ask, well, why is everybody allowed to bring their cannabis in this building and consume it? And I point out because we've established that we can do this peacefully and nobody ever gets hurt. Nothing bad happens on our block for year after year after year.
That's a beautiful thing.
This media mogul is not only the publisher of cannabis culture, but also the creator of Pot TV.
Pot TV, we've made over 3,200 shows, and we have about 400 of them on YouTube now. Cannabis Culture, we started in 1994. We like to think of ourselves as the intellectual magazine of our movement, of our people. From our musical tastes, our language to politics, we lobby, we support political organizations. And my wife is on the front cover of this issue, and she would appear not to have any panties on, so.
Nicely done, dude. It's a beautiful world you got going on here, my man.
Well, let's hope we can keep it that way.
Exactly, brother. One love. Keep this thing alive. Can I hit? I can't hit that thing on camera. Damn it. Through his activism and his mini media empire, Mark Emery has completely gotten and earned the title, the king of all things herb, here in Vancouver. Let's burn one, baby.
You know, I like the Prince of Pot, but I wonder who's next in line for the crown, because doesn't exactly strike me as the kind of guy who has kids. You know what I mean?
Well, if he does have kids, is he going to have the kids with the Queen of Cannabis or the Duchess of Doobies?
Whoa, no. No, you got one more? You got one more?
No,
you don't.
No. The Princess of Pot? Oh, man. They just keep coming. All right, guys, please don't go anywhere. There's lots of awesomeness just like this, and we take you inside a secret pot farm. We also have real Rastas for you. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're here in Jamaica just for you.
Okay, one more. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh, hey! Welcome back to AOTS Jamaican 420. We are at Alfred's Oceanside Palace, where for the past 20 years, this seaside bar and restaurant has been famous for its live reggae music and performances from artists like John Holt and Toots and the Maytals.
Oh, I love playing Toots in Rock Band. I'll tell you, they're my favorite. But actually, being here is a whole other experience. The music's turned up to 11. The rum punch is flowing. Everybody's having a fantastic time. But the main draw, I think, is the dancers.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys have a different choreographed dancer team to each and every song that the band plays.
And here's what's so exciting. Right now, Kevin and I are going to step away. We're going to learn some signature dance moves.
No.
Yes, we are. He's got some moves in him, I promise you. But you guys, you're going to get a look at that right after Big C takes you into the world of Rastafarians to listen listen to this. Show you how to get high and call it church.
Amen.
Thanks, guys. Now, despite its laid-back lifestyle and its spring break blowouts, Jamaica is a really religious country. But the religion that's most famous and probably the most misunderstood is Rastafarianism. So to clear up some of the confusion, I sit down with a few Rastas and I find out what the beliefs are, why marijuana is so important to their religion, and what it's like just to be a Rasta for a day. Started by the Jamaican working class in the 1930s, the Rastafarian religion mixed Judeo-Christian doctrine with black empowerment and claimed that the Ethiopian king Haile Selassie was the Messiah. But the Fringe religion grew rapidly during the 60s and 70s thanks to the music of Bob Marley. And my Rastafarian Shina continues that mix of reggae and Rasta.
Every day this is a music yard. And this is not my yard. You might call it my yard too, is I pay the taxes here, but it's every musician yard. We learn a lot here too. Come people from all over the world come check in and they share and we share also. You know, so it's like I give and you receive. Yeah.
And I received insight from my next Rasta man, Bob, on why the religion came to be.
We're talking about the people who were at the bottom of the totem pole. Rastafari is the slaves' way of rejecting the colonial system that initiated the transatlantic slave trade. The hair is the symbol of not using the razor or the steel to cut your hair because it is a derivative of the steel that chained us.
And that's why Rastas grow dreadlocks and don't wear jewelry. But how does ganja fit into the religion?
I keep hearing the term chalice in a lot of the music and a lot. What is the chalice to the Rastafari culture?
Well, you know what the Roman shaking in church for the smoke? We prefer to have our own chalice to blow our smoke. We don't shake it. We smoke it and we inhale it.
This is the chalice. There's the Asian chalice where we get together and we sip the chalice and within unity. This is the kochi and the herb go inside there. You put a little water in it and get a sound, it bubble, like it tune like an instrument. To make that sound. So I call it the silent saxophone. You know? You doesn't hear it, but you feel it. Because it's article.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one art. One love, one art, one identity.
Well, I appreciate your time, and I want to go check out some music, man.
Man, that's my thing.
I had a ball, and you know what? I think I still got a lot to learn here in Jamaica. So, Kevin and Olivia, I think you should tell the bosses I'm back in a month or so.
And all this time, I thought, like, communion wine was fun, but I guess it's sort of like rock, paper, scissors, bong beats a chalice any day. That's how it goes down. But now we have a reason to look forward to church again.
That is true. And while you guys were learning how to go to church properly, we learned some signature moves.
You learned a signature
No,
move.
you did too.
Right, well, serve it up. Bring it. Here we go. Okay, little two-step. Oh, the banana boat. Are you rowing? She's rowing, and then back to the...
Your turn.
Okay,
Go.
Okay, so you gotta pack it, burn it around the edges. Don't hold it too hot, and then
Wait! I want to do that.
Yeah, you wanna rip it?
Pack it.
Okay, you gotta pack it, then burn it around, and then you gotta cough to the side. Don't cough in someone's face.
Okay, I don't know how to do that, Dan.
All right, all night long, Zach's been checking in from places in Canada, right? And apparently, over there this time of year, you can get stuck in the blizzard. Sucker. But luckily for him, he's in an area of town where they smoke so much pot, they actually call it Youngsterdam.
Thanks, guys. Now, for all you tokers out there looking for a place to call your own, I think I might have found it. It's a 5-block stretch called Youngsterdam, smack dab in the middle of Toronto, Canada. And with me today to give us a little tour is the unofficial mayor of Youngsterdam himself, Dominic Kramer.
That's me. How you doing?
I'm good. It's snowing, by the way.
It's beautiful.
What is Youngsterdam?
Well, it's the longest street in the world, I think, Yonge Street is, and we have our little stretch that we've taken over here, and it's a bunch of cannabis-friendly businesses. There is Vapor Central, Kindred Cafe, Toronto Art Glass Glass Studio. This is Toronto Art Glass, our new glass-blowing studio and store selling glass-blowing supplies and glass art. It's all about custom glass artwork, torch time for glass artists, all kinds of glass-blowing wonderful stuff.
If someone wanted to come and have their own pipe design, what do you think it would run them?
Anything small, 30, 40, 50 bucks, but you can get up to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 if you want to go crazy.
Where are we going next?
I think we're off to Garden.
This is a G4 inside look at an actual medicinal garden.
This is a government licensed garden. There are a couple hundred of these. Well, there's a whole lot to growing indoors. The idea is that you're emulating nature. You're doing everything from the light to the air to the medium that the plants are in and the water that is feeding the plants, the whole shebang.
Once you have your appropriate cannabis, you can check out the Vapor Lounge if you're looking for a clean, healthy way to inhale your weed.
Basically what we do here is we vaporize cannabis. The science, in a very simple term, is that it heats the cannabis and the THC specifically beyond the point at which it boils, but lower than the point at which the plant matter burns.
$5, you can use any of this and any other vaporizer you guys have in the store?
Absolutely. $5 gives you a day pass to our lounge.
If you're looking for the full stoner effect, you can hit up Youngsterdam's favorite hotspot, the Kindred Cafe, for some games and some ganja.
You basically come up here, you pay a certain amount to play video games, you can smoke the vaporizer here, you can hang out.
Actually, we have 3 rooms that are available for rent. They're available for $15 an hour. And we also have available on our 3rd floor is our members-only smoking patio.
Are those brownies and cookies and baked goods downstairs actually baked goods?
Well, we do have some special products on our menu. Our milkshakes are made with lots of love.
I mean, this is seriously like a stoner gamer's dream room right here. $15. Why isn't this in America? All right, guys, today we've seen pipes, we've seen plants, and we've seen vapor. It's all here at Youngsterdam in the heart of Toronto. You got to see it to believe it. Happy 420, y'all.
I actually kind of feel bad for Zach. I mean, getting sent up to Canada while we're down here in Jamaica.
I'm sure he found a way to ease the pain and pass the time.
I did say kind of.
Okay, as long as it's
completely.
kind of.
Yeah.
Well, today I felt like a Make-A-Wish kid with marijuana. I actually went to my favorite new place in the world. It was an actual, real deal, hidden behind a farm, Jamaican grow field. Now, I can't exactly tell you where it was because we spent hours on windy dirt roads and we weren't allowed to keep our cameras on when we were en route. I mean, for obvious reasons, there's a lot of secrecy involved. However, I made it in and surprisingly made it out alive, and I brought some footage for you guys. Well, if there's one thing you've learned from this show so far, it's that getting your hands on some weed in Jamaica isn't exactly all that difficult. However, if you want to see the ganja actually grow, then you have to go off the beaten path. Even with weed readily available and pot fields tucked everywhere in the hills of Jamaica, marijuana is still very illegal. So as we neared the last paved road, we were forced to turn our cameras off. And after 20 minutes of off-roading and hiking, I finally caught up with our grower, Wayne. A college graduate, he's now a pot farmer. But to avoid any problems with the police, Wayne asked that we hide his identity. We've been driving for about an hour, hiking for like 30 minutes or so. I found a flipped-over car and a bunch of goats, but no weed. Where's the grow field, man?
Well, the weed is always hidden behind something,
We snuck past pigs and trudged up a winding hill, but finally we had arrived. An incredible 2-acre ganja garden. I'm taken back. I've never seen this much weed in my life being grown. When'd you get started?
About 6 months ago. This is the 2nd crop.
So it takes, about 3 months then
about
for
3 months.
seeds to grow?
Yeah, I have 3 guys that works with me. The first thing, after you get the land clean, you have to get in the containers,
Right, which in this case are some good years?
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a very good year. Wayne explained the reason for the tires. It actually keeps the minerals and water from escaping, nearly doubling his yield. How many tires do you have out here?
Right here I have 700 tires.
Each yielding...
a half a pound.
How does it get from this tire in this field to something that I can smoke or roll up? Just up the hill from all the tires in Little Grove Farm, we have the hut, or the dry house. Wayne, do you mind pulling back the tarp there? Bit of a green sauna in here. After growing for 3 months out in the field, we hang it up in here to dry. It is hot and smells like heaven in here.
It's my job to cut all the buds off the sticks. We put them in bags, and it's ready for distribution.
A former accountant, Wayne pulls in $50,000 a year by growing his ganja. But he's nervous about expanding his operation.
The more people you use, the more problems you might have. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Big E wrote a song about that at one point, I think. And what about future plans? Like, is there a place where you're growing any new weeds?
I have another field. It's only grown for pollination. It's for me to get seeds.
Is there like a bit of a weed nursery or something? Getting to the nursery was just as difficult, with fences and barbed wire blocking the way.
I'm gonna lose a testicle.
What's the goal here in the nursery?
To get enough seeds to plant in a few fields. One female plant gives at least 50 seeds.
How can we tell what's the male and what's the female in here?
You can see that the female plant, after 2 weeks, it starts showing buds.
Okay, yeah.
And the male plant, it has pods.
What are we talking about? What kind of strand is this here?
This strain is Cindy 99 crossed with blueberry. You got the seeds off a catalog and website from Holland.
If the cops show up, what would happen?
We have to just hope that they're okay, they're cool enough for we to reason with them and probably give them a few dollars and they'll be all right.
And ask them to leave and
right.
Say that they're cool with it on camera.
All right.
Yeah, I bet they will. Wayne, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure to check something like this out. I never thought I'd see something like this in my life. So, how do I get to the gift shop? Get a little souvenir?
You have to just take the road right here.
Okay. So turn right at the goat?
Right.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks again.
Kev, I gotta ask you, I mean, it looked like it was exciting and a lot of fun, but pretty tense.
It was very intense. I mean, look, you can try to make a joke or three about the fact that you're in a grow field, but at the end of the day, it's illegal stuff, and it's their livelihood, so they're very serious about it.
Well, I gotta, people, you guys didn't see this? We had to bring an armed guard, a guy with a gun, to protect Kevin.
Yeah.
Not the crew, just Kevin, just so you know.
No, who cares about the camera guy?
This is the face
And now I'm out of focus. No, it was very serious. Look, the thing was completely hidden. The guys were very nice, but they were cautious because the entire time you're there, they don't know if you're working for local PD, and they don't know at any moment we could have been swarmed on and taken to jail. So it was a very intense situation, but at the end of the day, it was just a fascinating look behind the scenes.
It's very exciting. You guys, don't go anywhere. Immediately following this show, a very special edition, a 420 edition of G4's Code Monkeys. It's our comedy of 8-bit proportions. It's all new with Tommy Chong as the voice of King Toking. It's all new next.
Yes, well, that sounds awesome, but on a sadder note, that's going to wrap up our time here in Jamaica. I got to thank everybody. I mean, this is truly the first place I've seen where the location itself is as beautiful as the people. I had an absolute blast staying completely sober, G4 Legal.
That's right. Me too, everybody. I loved it here. My favorite G4 destination so far.
Absolutely.
I want to thank the entire island of Jamaica, all my Jamaicans. How fair.
You were the only Jamaican here, and you're really not even Jamaican, so...
Okay, well, I like to thank all the Jamaicans. I was just trying to be fun.
No, it's cool. Yeah, it's fun.
It's trying to be fun. Anyways, you guys, have a safe 420. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Let's go braid our pubes.
I don't want to... I'm clean shaven. You know that.
Well, let's put a bead in it then.
I'm clean shaven.
No, but let's put a bead in it.
Oh, in it? Okay.
Yeah, like Benoit.
Where do they do that?